Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my this or that video. And this is the video that I had said I was gonna start like a little series where I was going to take 2 to 3 perfumes that I recently hauled, and I'm going to be going over the pillar and the flanker. Now I do have one where I'm going to be going over the new release and then the inspired by perfume. Dossier did reach out to me and ask if I was willing to extend our partnership, and I really enjoyed collaborating with them, so I said yes. So I do have 2 more giveaways coming. But first, if you haven't seen my past videos or haven't heard of Dossier, they are an inspiration house where they create inspired by perfumes on popular designer, luxury, and niche brands. I do have 2 that I'm going to talk about. My first one is going to be my scent of the day, which is Fruity Honey, and this is an inspiration of Jo Malone's Nectarine Blossom and Honey. So I just honestly got this because I love Jo Malone perfumes and I knew I would like it. This has top notes of black currant, green leaves, middle notes of honey, nectarine, and base notes of peach and vetiver. So let's just go ahead and refresh. This is just a very beautiful, uplifting, fruity floral. It's sweet, fruity, airy, perfect for spring and summer. This is my 3rd Jo Malone inspiration perfume from Dossier, and I've loved every one that I've tried so far. So again, that is Fruity Honey, and this retails for $29, and if you wanted to pick up the Jo Malone, that retails for $72 for a 1 ounce. Okay, so now that we went over my scent of the day, let me know what your scent of the day is. But now let's go ahead and get into the video. So first up is a 2020 release, but I'm going to go over the Dossier version and see if you can guess what it is by listening to the notes. But this is Floral Rhubarb, and this has top notes of rhubarb, orange blossom, peach, middle notes of daffodil, milky accord, narcissus, and base notes of cedarwood, blondwoods, and musk. And this is inspired by Marc Jacobs Perfect. I do have a little travel of Marc Jacobs Perfect. So both of these perfumes, because they do smell very similar, they're described as green, fruity, woody, aromatic, almond, yellow floral, sweet, nutty, powdery, and musky. Oh yeah, they do open up the same. Okay, so Marc Jacobs Perfect was released in 2020, and it has top notes of rhubarb, narcissus, middle notes of almond milk, and then base notes of cashmere and cedar. So when I first sprayed both of these perfumes to test them out, they opened up very similar. They had that mouth-watering tartness, that's the rhubarb note, and then there's like florals, but I picked up a little bit more florals in the Dossier, and then they definitely started to develop and change. So in the Marc Jacobs, that tart rhubarb note kind of fell a little off into the background after the 30-minute mark. After 30 minutes, this dried down to more of a very soft, fruity floral, and then the almond milk started to come through. But I don't want you to think of almond like Girl of Now. It's a very soft almond milk. It almost just adds like kind of like what sandalwood adds, that kind of creaminess. It adds that very lightly, and everything's very blended beautifully in Marc Jacobs Perfect, but the rhubarb makes it a little bit more different than your typical fruity floral. I think rhubarb is really becoming popular, but I will say that the rhubarb isn't very strong. So if you really enjoy the rhubarb note, then you're gonna wanna check out Floral Rhubarb, because the rhubarb note in Floral Rhubarb stays for about 2 hours. So this one does project better. I would say Marc Jacobs Perfect is more like in your surrounding area, whereas this one does leave a very kind of loud sillage, but I think it's because of that rhubarb note. And then that note sticks around for about 2 hours. And I've tested this on multiple occasions, like at night, walking the dogs when it's really hot, and then just working from home. And the only way I could get the rhubarb note to be a little bit louder in Marc Jacobs was to overspray, but even then it again falls more in the background. Like, it's not completely gone, but it's not the star of the show. Then after about the 4-hour mark, I would say this then smells like Marc Jacobs. You get the almond in this one, and then it does resemble Marc Jacobs. So I actually prefer this one because I like the way it develops. The rhubarb sticks around a little bit longer, and then after the 4-hour mark, it starts to dry down because then the rhubarb note starts to taper off. So they do smell very similar after this develops. I would say more into the base notes. Longevity on both of them were great. I would just say that this one projects better, and if you like rhubarb, you're gonna want to pick this one up. So when it comes to this or that, I would say if you want more of a blended, not so tart, kind of subtle fruity floral with a slight almond creaminess, I would say go for Marc Jacobs Perfect. Also, if you want that adorable bottle, if you don't care about the frills and you don't want to spend as much, because this does retail for $96 for a 50 ml. I would say if you just want to spend $29, get Floral Rhubarb. Also, if you want that rhubarb note to stick around a little bit longer, I would say go for this one. Okay, so next up we have Versace. And we have Dylan Turquoise and Dylan Blue. And both of them are Perfume. So we'll go over the pillar first. So Dylan Blue was released in 2017. And this is described as a fruity floral, green, rose, fresh, woody, and sweet. This has top notes of Granny Smith apple, black currant, clover, forget-me-not, shiso or shiso, peach, rosehip, petalia, rose, and jasmine. And then base notes of musk and white woods. So let's go ahead and smell this one. If you guys have seen any of my videos, you know that I really enjoy this scent for summer. It's just a very crisp, clean, fresh green apple scent. It's very aquatic to me, even though they don't list aquatic. And very clean, very luxurious, kind of like a day at the spa. Now, I know people have compared this to shampoo, more specifically Garnier, I think it is. And maybe that's why I don't get that, because I don't know, I just don't have shampoo with like green apple, and this has a very prominent green apple note to my nose. But I absolutely love the original. This, I would say, lasts 7 or 8 hours on me. Now I do get my hair and my clothes. This to me, I've always said, is like a day on the boat. This is kind of like a rich but sporty woman sailing on the boat with her husband. She's got boat shoes on, maybe some cute little shorts, and even though, you know, it's sunny and kind of warm outside because of the sea breeze, she has like this cardigan on. You know, smells like money, very luxurious. It is an easy grab. It isn't anything revolutionary, but most designers do fancy packaging to kind of rope you in. And to me, this matches. This is a day sailing, and I think this bottle is a perfect representation of it. So here's what the bottle looks like up close. It's gold and blue with the Versace face up front. It's blue on the top. So that's Dylan Blue. Okay, next we have Dylan Turquoise, and this was released in 2020. And this is another one where I think the bottle's a perfect representation. This is a day on the beach. This isn't your coconutty beach scent. This is just your clean, again, aquatic. This one's more fresh. Now, this was described as citrus, woody, fruity, musky, soft, spicy, aromatic, floral, fresh, tropical, and powdery. This has top notes of lemon, mandarin orange, pink pepper, mid notes of guava, freesia, cassis, jasmine, and base notes of clearwood, musk, and cedar. Now, I would say that this is a more modern Donna Karan New York Be Delicious. It's just that green apple. If you want to know what this falls in the family of. It's got more musk and floral, so they don't smell exactly the same, but they have that same crisp green apple note. This is going to fall in like the Dolce & Gabbana light blue category. Again, more modern. It's the guava note in here. But if you like Dolce & Gabbana light blue, I think you would like this one. Out of the two, I prefer the original. Now, I do not get the original in this perfume. For me, this perfume, you could tell me it was a Dolce & Gabbana light blue flanker, and that's what I would think it is. It's just got that very sharp citrus burst opening, but there's a guava note that is very prominent. Even though it's in the mid, I get it right in the opening, and it lasts for about 2 hours, but unfortunately it does disappear. And then it's more of a basic musky floral with like a woody base. And this one isn't bad. It's just, I wish the guava note lasted longer because I really enjoy it. It's very pretty in the opening. Again, a burst of citrus. You get that pink pepper. I really like pink pepper, so the spiciness doesn't bother me. It might bother some people. And then it has that guava note. The guava note's kind of tart, does that same mouth-watering thing. But sadly it leaves, and then it does turn into a very basic kind of musky floral scent with like a woody base. So it's short-lived for me, I guess is the best way to say it. I think I'll enjoy it in the summertime. A scent that, you know, once it disappears, I'll probably pop something else on, because this one doesn't last as long on me. This one, well, if I get my clothes again, I could get it to last longer, but it really does become more of a musky skin scent after the 4-hour mark. It's still lingering, but I could definitely pop something on over it, because to me, all the major playing notes are gone by the 4-hour mark. So, but I do think that the bottle's another good representation. It's more fun. You got the turquoise color, kind of like the blue waters. It's silver. You got Versace around here, and then still in turquoise around the top. It's just more of a fun bottle. I do find this one to be more of a fun, fresh scent. Whereas this one, I do find it to be a little bit more, where people say it's shampoo-y, it's the best shampoo. It's like luxurious to me. This is a day on the boat, and this is a day by the beach, is how I would describe it. So totally different. You can definitely own one or the other, or even both, because they do not smell the same. I would say if you like more of those Dolce & Gabbana citrusy scents, you're gonna like this one. If those tend to pull a little bit like citrus cleaner, I would say stay away from this one, because I can see how that can happen. It doesn't do it on my skin, but it does smell like that on paper, so I could see that happening on some people. And then if you want more of a crisp green apple, kind of like a more modern Donna Karan New York Be Delicious, I would say go for this one. If you don't care for easy grabs in your collection, I probably wouldn't go for either of these. These are definitely more likable, easygoing, everyday scents. Okay, so next we have Twilight de Elmes and Twilight de Elmes Au Poivre. Twilight de Elmes was released in 2017. This is white floral, warm, spicy, citrus, tuberose, woody, fresh, powdery, animalic, and vanilla. This has top notes of ginger, bitter orange, bergamot, middle notes of tuberose, orange blossom, jasmine, and then base notes of sandalwood and vanilla. I don't really pick up animalic. This doesn't get super vanilla. Like, vanilla is becoming very popular these last couple of years, that it almost turns me off from a lot of designer scents. This opens up bright with the bergamot and the ginger, zesty, and then it dries down to a soapy floral scent. The ginger does stay pretty much throughout the life of the scent, and then it dries down to more of a woody, powdery scent on me. Very pretty, very clean, and like classy, but modern. This, I've always said, is like a day out, day drinking or brunch with the ladies. This is a very invigorating, uplifting, bright scent. I don't really have anything like this in my collection. Again, that's Twilight de Elmes, and I just love these bottles. This to me is bright, it's fun. You got the bowler hat, and it's just cute. So yeah, to me this is, again, a day out drinking. And then we have Twilight de Elmes Au Poivre. And this is about the rose. So I think they did a good job of the pink bottle with the different colors of roses. So this one was released in 2019. And this one's growing on me because this wasn't a love. I thought this was going to be Twilight de Elmes with like a rosiness. But the rose in here is slightly vintage. It's a little powdery, kind of makeup-y, but I'm starting to appreciate that. I still want to give it a chance because there are perfumes that weren't love and now they are. But this one is soft, spicy, rose, patchouli, woody, musky, warm, spicy, sweet, earthy, and floral. And the only notes they list is pink pepper, rose, and patchouli. And I do get the Twilight de Elmes DNA. I was just hoping for a little bit more ginger and a little bit more of that modern rose that's really popular. This is a little bit more of that kind of vintage powdery rose, but not super vintage, just a touch. Both of them last about a good 6 to 7 hours. Of course, they definitely are stronger the first 2 or 3 hours, and then they sit closer to the skin. I would say Twilight, the original, lasts a little bit longer. And again, I do get my clothes and hair. I don't really know how to say this or that with this one because I don't have anything like this in my collection. But if you've smelled Twilight and the ginger note was maybe a little too much for you, a little too zesty, this was a little soapy to you, you might want to try this one, especially if you like rose and you don't mind powdery rose. I think the reason why I'm okay with this is because it's not a sweet powdery rose, which I'm learning I don't like. This one does have a freshness to it. I just prefer the original, but this one can get a little soapy. I don't really get the tuberose too much in this one. I get more of that clean jasmine scent, but this one's definitely more white floral and this one's more rose. This is more powdery. It is a little warm spicy from the pink pepper at the top, and then this one's a little bit more zesty from the ginger and bergamot. This one's a little bit more brighter to me, and this one's a little bit more, I would say this one's like you're going to church. This one's more inoffensive. This one, again, day drinking, so kind of different, you know, going to church, going out to drink. So you guys decide. That's just my opinion. Okay, and then last we have Nomad by Chloe, and we have the Eau de Parfum and the Eau de Toilette. And I wanted to save these last because both of these are just loves of mine. So we're gonna go over the Eau de Parfum first, and this was released in 2018. Let's go ahead and spray it. Oh my goodness. It's the Maribel Plum in this one. This is woody, citrus, fruity, mossy, earthy, floral, sweet, powdery, warm, spicy, and amber. This has top notes of Maribel, bergamot, lemon, and orange. Middle notes of freesia, peach, rose, and jasmine, and base of oak moss, amberwood, patchouli, white musk, and sandalwood. And this projects, this lasts 7-8 hours on me. This one definitely is a really good performing perfumes. I would say out of all of these, this one performs really well. This just opens up kind of bright from the bergamot, but it doesn't open up very lemon or citrusy. Even though lemon is in here, this opens up juicy from the Maribel and then bright from the bergamot. And then the freesia and peach and rose do come through, and this takes on a scent I don't have anything to compare it to. The oak moss starts to come in, and the patchouli, and then this does get very earthy, but not like super patchouli heavy. This is about the oak moss. I think this was my first perfume with oak moss in it, and now I have like 4 because I love the way it smells. It's like a damp earthiness. There are a lot of scents that remind me of Puerto Rico. This is the damp earth, like walking through the rainforest, is what oak moss like reminds me of. Absolutely beautiful. This is a signature all year round everyday scent, but I really like it for fall for some reason. Now this new one, the Eau de Toilette surprised me. This one is beautiful for spring and summer, but this is Chloe Nomad, the Eau de Toilette. And just so you know, both of these, the perfumer behind this is Quentin Biche. He's like one of my favorite perfumers. He's done Delinas, he's done the Labels, he's done the Nomads. I like his scents because they're different, but also very feminine and everyday and signature worthy and unique. So this smells like Nomad, but it's a more crisp version of it. So that one opens up a little bit more juicy. This one's more crisp, kind of like sparkly, like sparkling champagne, dry. And then it's got a lychee note in it. So the Maribel's what is the star note in this one, and then for me it's the lychee in this one, making it not mouth-watering, but more of a dry, lychee type of scent. So this one is described as mossy, floral, earthy, fruity, tropical, fresh, and woody. And this has top notes of lychee, middle notes of freesia, and base notes of oak moss. But this isn't as earthy and as like mossy as I would say this one is. This is truly a lighter, fresher version of this one. This is perfect for Florida, hot summers. So I'm really happy to have both because they smell so similar but yet so different. And here are the bottles. So they're pretty much the same. The Eau de Parfum is just a little bit of a rosy pink, and then the Eau de Toilette, it's kind of like a beige color. And then the Eau de Parfum is like a rosy pink. It would be hard for me to say this or that, but if mossy, earthy isn't your thing, I would say don't get this one, but you might like this one because it's not as strong. But I enjoy both of these scents. I think they're beautiful and unique. But again, you have to kind of like earthy scents, but it's not as strong in this one. But if you wanted to pick up one over the other, this one is more juicy at the top. It projects a little bit better. It lasts long. This still performs very well for an Eau de Toilette. It's just this one leaves a really good sillage. This one, it's a little bit more in your bubble, but still super happy to have both. So again, that's Chloe, Nomad, the Eau de Parfum, and the Eau de Toilette. So yeah, guys, that was my this or that. I have about 2 to 3 more of these coming, even though I think I'm gonna go through my collection and do that just because I've never really revisited some perfumes. So I would like to give you guys more in-depth reviews on them and let you guys know my thoughts. But let me know in the comments below, do you guys have any of these perfumes? What are your thoughts on them? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.